All right, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, live in the flesh once again with another GMOG Media TV movie review. All right, so shout out to Sony Pictures because I was able to go with my wife to see a screening of the Equalizer 2 starring the legendary Denzel Washington. First of all, right off the bat, I'm going to be doing a review of this movie, so there will be spoilers. So if you have not seen it, just stop right now and click off the video. Just watch previews or whatever, like I'm doing now on my big monitor I have. This is dope how I have this set up. I'm able to look at the I'm looking at YouTube previews and stuff on my big monitor while I'm doing this review. Anyway, like I said, I went to a movie screening with my wife at shout out to AMC Theaters in Aventura Mall, and shout out to Sony Pictures. I'm going to tell you about my whole experience with not only the actual movie itself, but the screening process. All right. So, first of all, we saw the movie last night, Tuesday, and yeah, matter of fact, 24 hours ago. But we went to the AMC Theaters in Aventura Mall, and we printed out I printed out the screening ticket, and I asked, basically once I got there, I arrived. I asked the one of the employees there, I'm here to see a screening, and they directed me towards where it was located, which theater number and all that stuff. So me and my wife arrived there. We arrived about an hour before the show actually started. The actual movie started 1 hour before. So when we got there, we gave them our tickets, and everything was cool. And then once we had to basically stop at a table, and I noticed there was a lot of plastic bags on the table, right? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe some movie merchandise, because I remember going to a screening for the Fast and the Furious. I think the Fate of the Furious. They gave out merch for the movie, and I thought that was very cool. So I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. They gonna give out some merch. Come to find out, they took our goddamn cell phones. So as many movie screenings I've been to, that's the first time I've ever had my cell phone. My wife and I's cell phone was confiscated from going inside the movie, which, you know, I can understand. You know, you don't want people to bootleg the movie. You know, but I've never had my phone confiscated. So that was a very new turn of events. I've also heard people, you know, while we in the theater, people conversing. I've heard chatter, people saying the same thing I was thinking, like, this is my first time having my cell phone taken from, you know, watching a screening. So that was new to me. But that didn't spoil or anything. You know, I wasn't used to that. My wife definitely wasn't used to that. She actually tried to go back out and get her cell phone back, which was hilarious. But they told her, hey, you want your cell phone, leave and go home and take your phone. That's what they told her. But that didn't stop the show. We went ahead and, you know, watched the movie without our cell phones and stuff like that. Actually, you know, it keeps you more focused anyway, because when you have your phone, you're going to be looking down, looking for whatever, you know, kind of alerts or whatever on your phone. That's going to be less distracting if you don't have your phone. So it's a good idea anyway. But anyway, to the movie itself, man. Movie, I'm going to just go right off the bat. This is the best in terms of action and suspense. It's the best movie I've seen so far this year. Action-packed, suspense. It had me on the edge of my seat at times, and I rarely do that with movies. I rarely do that with certain movies, but the Equalizer 2, it was dope, man. It really was dope. So if you're not familiar with, you know, the Equalizer, this is part 2 of the original movie that came out. I forgot what year it came out. Was it like 2012? or something like that. I mean, let me look that up real quick on IMDb, just so I can have my references, correct. Okay, 2014 is when it came out, the original one. So this is 4 years later. Okay, so this is Denzel Washington reprising the role of CIA operative Robert McCall. He is a widowed, retired CIA black ops soldier. Okay, and so in the movie, in part 2, he's not only retired, same guy and everything, but he's now a Lyft driver. He drives for Lyft. Shout out to Lyft. I prefer Lyft over Uber due to their, damn racial discrimination issues. I boycotted Ubers. Shout out to them using Lyft and sponsoring them in that movie. I really like that. But yeah, Denzel plays he's a Lyft driver in the movie, and he picks up a lot of people and drops them off in various places, and he's keen on picking up patterns and characters when these people are inside of his vehicle where he takes them around. He's keen on that. He's keen on patterns, and he's able to pick up certain things that happen to them. He's able to decipher that really quick, whether or not you really are who you are, who say you are, if you're legit, if you talk about certain people that he's able to pick that up. So, case in point, there was this dude, this real old dude, man. He had to be in his 80s or something like that. This character that was a frequent passenger for Denzel as a Lyft driver, and he was talking about his family, and I believe he was a Holocaust survivor, and he talked about his sibling, his sister, a lot, right? And Denzel picked up on that, and now again, this is, if you haven't watched the movie, spoiler alert, but the old guy, I guess a Holocaust survivor, that he would take around and stuff like that. He would listen to his stories and always talk about his sister, his long lost sister he haven't seen in a while. And towards the end of the movie, he gets reunited with his sister that he hasn't seen in I don't even know how long. He's able to, like, and another example is that this lady who worked at a library or something like that, this lady's daughter, I believe she was missing or something like that, and he was able to reunite this lady and her daughter. He's a real, just keen, genuine guy, and I would imagine because he lost his wife, and he's able to pick up on certain patterns and things and character traits of people and help them, get closure to what they're missing in life. You know what I'm saying? And it's very dope. And the parallel to that is, again, Denzel playing Robert McCall, but he also confides with another character by the name of Miles, and he reminds me of some old school actor back in the 80s. I can't put my name on it, but his face looks familiar. But this guy Miles, who's played by, let me get this guy's name right. He's played by Ashton Sanders. Very good actor. But Denzel's character, Robert McCall, he confides with Miles. Miles is an artist, not a rap artist, but an actual artist. He draws, he paints. Talented in the movie. Very talented artist. Denzel confides with this guy. He sees greatness with Miles. So he takes Miles under his wing. Right? He takes Miles under his wing, and there's a scene in the movie where the apartment complex that Denzel lives at was vandalized. The outside was vandalized. There was a mural, an art mural, that had, a great picture of various, artistry, and they also had a garden in the apartment that was all trashed and vandalized by some random thugs in the neighborhood. Denzel takes it upon himself, because of the character that he is. He tries to repaint the mural and redo all of the garden that was destroyed. He tries to do that himself. Miles comes along and proposed, hey, you know, you shouldn't be doing all this work. I could do this for you for a certain fee. He said, I think he said $250 or something like that. He proposed to Denzel. Denzel obliged, you know, because he knows Miles, and he knows he's an up-and-coming artist. He goes to school, young guy, and he has a lot of talent, and he sees greatness in Miles. And, you know, like I said, Denzel takes him under his wing, and it turns out he took his offer. Denzel took Miles' offer to repaint the mural. All right, and he was willing to pay him I think the asking price for $250. They negotiated, which was very funny. That scene was funny. I gotta watch the whole scene again, but just to give you guys a kind of like a little small recap of that scene, they negotiated, and Miles repainted that mural, right? Denzel, of course, because he's a CIA operative and Black Ops and has all that training in him, he was watching Miles day to day repaint that mural, right? And this one scene where Miles was starting to repaint the mural, he gets picked up by his so-called friends, these gangster friends. Denzel sees that. He saw two guys approach Miles. They approached him. They dapped it up, and Miles left with them. Denzel automatically knew it was already trouble. It was already, you know, something negative was about to happen. He followed him. He followed Miles, got the license plate number, followed Miles to this building. He broke in, you know, and took Miles back. And they were all shook. And so it's a lot of scenes. I'm not going to talk about every scene in the movie, but I'm just going to talk about certain scenes that stood out. Actually, every scene that Denzel's involved in stood out. Even the opening scene within the movie itself. The opening scene where Denzel was on the train, and he was talking to, I believe, somebody who was from Greece or something like that. They were speaking in some foreign language, but Denzel was able to speak that language. And right off the bat, it started off at a great fighting scene with Denzel and on the train and all that stuff. It's like I said, it's an action-packed movie, a lot of suspense. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a great movie. Another character in the movie that's very key is the character Susan Plummer. I believe she was like a CIA director or something like that worked closely with Denzel's character Robert McCall. Her character, turns out her character was murdered. It was murdered by Denzel's former partner in the movie, who turns out to be the villain. Okay, who's played by Dave. He's played by, the character was Dave York, who turns out to be the villain. And it was a plot twist, because my wife and I, we didn't see that coming. We didn't see him being the villain, right? We thought it was somebody else, but he was the villain. And you know, it wound up being a super great scene where at the end of the movie, Denzel, the villain, Dave York, and a couple of other characters, they're out in Boston in the middle of a hurricane, shooting it out, fighting. That's the whole visual of that is crazy. I love the way they shot it, the special effects or whatever they did. It looks so realistic, because the hurricane and the wind and the ocean and the water coming up, it was great, man. It was great. And for somebody like Denzel to be 60, 70 years old, moving like that, Yo, that's something to marvel over. You know, something to marvel over for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the whole scene at the end with the hurricane was great. And again, you know, one of the key characters, Miles, played a role in that that hurricane scene because he was kidnapped and trapped in the trunk, kidnapped by the villain Dave York, Denzel's former partner. Used him as a pawn, but it backfired, and he wound up getting killed. You know what I'm saying? But yo, the scenes I'm describing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Watch the whole entire movie. You will not be disappointed. It starts off with great action, ends with great action. Everything in between was dope. Even the little scenes that Denzel has, meeting random people and discovering that they're not who they say they are. You know, like the scene where he picks up a woman who appeared to be severely injured, right? Turns out she was raped by a group of Wall Street 6-figure, 7-figure guys in this very expensive high-rise hotel or whatever. He goes up to their room saying that you know, their lift, the girl who they kicked out of their room because they called her a lift to pick her up, right? And he saw that she was injured really bad, so he went back up to find out who did it. He found out who did it, went back up to the room, whooped their ass by saying, you know, basically saying that the payment wasn't valid and he needed another form of payment. Whooped their ass, and then he told one of the dudes to give him a 5-star rating. Everybody in the theater cracked up, man. You know, even like, you know, the movie was so involving. You had even myself at certain scenes would be like telling characters to shh, be quiet, or, you know, telling this, we will talk, especially you black, you know, like myself. I'm gonna talk to, if I'm into the movie, which I was, I'm gonna talk to the screen like they can hear me. So it's that kind of movie, man. It's a great movie, man. And like I said, best action, suspense, you know, movie I've seen so far this year, hands down, man. Great movie by Denzel. I definitely highly recommend it. I don't have a rating system. I just say go see it. You know, I don't have no, you know, kind of rating system in terms of movies that I enjoy watching. I just tell y'all, go see it. Go see it when it comes out this Friday. You will not be disappointed. This is a great movie. I think it's actually better than the first one, to be honest with you. And this movie also, it leaves room for a sequel because of the fact that the villain that was killed, right? Denzel's former partner, Dave York. All the stuff that he did, where he was, you know, killing these people within the organization, the CIA, he was following orders. They never showed who gave him those orders, right? So that leaves room for a sequel. So Denzel is damn near 70 years old, right? They better hurry up and do that damn sequel. You know, I don't want to see Denzel 80 years old doing Equalizer 3. Y'all better come out with a sequel next year. Okay, get that over with. Maybe it'll be a trilogy and call it a day, because Denzel's up there in age. He can't be doing these kind of action movies 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? Father Time is undefeated. So work on that sequel, part 3. Hopefully it comes out next year or whatever the case may be. The sooner the better. I would love to see the sequel. I just want to make sure the sequel comes out as soon as possible because of Denzel's age. You know what I mean? He old, but yeah, this movie does leave room for a sequel. It does, for sure. But anyway, those are my review and thoughts about the Equalizer 2. Well worth it. Go see it when it drops. Go see it multiple times, because it's definitely worth checking out more than one time. I may go see it again as well. I will go see it again for sure. I will go see it again, some form of fashion. All right. So anyway, those are my thoughts about the movie The Equalizer 2, family. All right. If you have seen it already, leave your comments down below in the comments section, family. Until next time, make sure you follow me on social media at GMOGMediaTV. Links are down below in the description. Till next time, family, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.